Hi, this is Shalise, and you are watching Sodbuster Living. I am participating with Hannah from Pepper and Pine, and this is our 2018 goals for our homeschool year. Now, I mentioned I have 5 children. I'm homeschooling them, but also I have 2 additional students that I help oversee their homeschool education as well. And looking back in this past year, I really struggle during the fall, and I think even into some of the winter months, of just making, are we doing enough? Am I doing all the right stuff? And just so many things like that. And when Hannah announced this collaboration, of course, I was almost getting too intense with trying to think about, okay, what is the purpose of homeschooling? Why do I want to homeschool? Does this align with Charlotte Mason? And then you get down to crunch time, and it's like, you know what, just get to the basics. What do I want to change in 2018? And that's just what I wanted to start out with. If you start thinking way too much and way too detailed about the kind of things that you want to do, you're less likely to actually do them. And so that's what this video is going to be doing. Again, this is in collaboration with Hannah from Pepper and Pine, and the playlist is going to be linked down below for you. We did some really great things this past year, doing just a family sit down with the morning basket or morning time or whatever you want to call it, and then our poetry tea time, and just really getting back to a more literature-based curriculum, and then just really diving into the heart of Charlotte Mason and education and really being contemplative about that. Maybe some of the things that, or it made me think about some of the things that, we really did well on. It also made me think of, Charlotte Mason spent most of her volumes on habits, and that is something that I did that whole video on. If I remember, I will link it up above, but I didn't really get the habits down. I started out, I had the tools with me to do it, but I get to the point where I get more angry and frustrated and then explode rather than just being deliberate about it. So this kind of works together. The goal for me for this new year is to yell less, be really intentional about making sure that I have the heart of the child, and making sure that they follow through the first time that I've told them something, so that way I don't lose my cool or they wait till I get to that point before they're obeying. But with that, it goes along with those habits. When you're working with them, just kind of follow the principle. And I call it a Charlotte Mason principle, but you know what, it's something that my mom had told me as I had a first kid too, and it's just making sure that you implement them. You obey the first time, and that it's not so much about being a dominating parent, as much as it is, this is going to really help you later on in life. And once I started seeing that, not seeing as trying to be, a harsh parent, I wouldn't say that I'm trying to follow a gentle parent philosophy in so much as that, but just trying to do what is right as a parent, I think, is probably more my thing. And I know I'm getting on a rabbit trail, just bear with me for a minute. It's how I'm working out my thoughts. Those thoughts that I got too intense with? Yeah. But anyway, just really focusing on those habits, especially obedience the first time. And it's any of the habits. It really is just getting to the heart of the child and with that, can I recommend a book at this point? And it's a great book. I think it's by Tim Kimmel, but the book is called The Dangers of Raising Nice Children. And it really is about, you can raise good children, but if you don't have a heart of a child, then, you really haven't won anything as a parent. And so putting that book with a Charlotte Mason principle of good habits is a huge, and not yelling, is going to be like the biggest goal I have for 2018. And it may not seem so much as a homeschooling goal, but really homeschooling, it's throughout home. It's everyday moment of our lives that this really needs to be worked on. But more specifically, like as in math, writing, reading, and homeschooling, I would really like to work more with the little ones. Benjamin and Katie, my 4 and 5-year-old, they really need some good structure learning, and I would really like to make that more of a priority, because it's kind of just been, okay, I think I can muster in a little bit of time for you guys today, rather than, hey, you're my priority over some reading time that I wanted, or whatever it is. And I have to tell you, by 7:30 at night, I am so ready for my kids to go to bed. It's just, I need some silence. So I don't know how I'm going to make this work because of our routine and structure, but it definitely is going to happen in the new year. And I have to say something. It's all Hannah's fault. I am kind of looking at more of a Waldorf way of teaching them in these early years. I don't know if I can. I don't necessarily like, for lack of a better word, the concept of main lesson blocks, where you spend many hours on a main lesson. I kind of like the more Charlotte Mason, which is many lessons broken up into smaller chunks. I think my brain just works better that way. But I do like how they educate with, okay, they're at this age, this is the best time to do this kind of stuff. And it is more of the creativeness. And I think we are a creative family. And so I guess Charlotte Mason would call that handicrafts, and Waldorf just, it's learning. So I'm kind of looking at that for them. I probably won't have any huge hauls to share with you. We'll see. Money's kind of a huge factor in that. So that's going to be another huge goal. Another goal that I'm going to be working on is our gardening. Now, in the past, I've kind of let gardening be, like, for my husband, like him take control and charge of that, just because he is better at it than I am. But to be honest, there really just isn't the time that he has to really devote to it. It's either going to have to be a decision as to, do we have a garden that he basically takes charge of, or do we have the house ready to sell that we were living in? I know for new subscribers, that's probably like, what is she talking about? But that's kind of a long story for a video, so it'll have to be another one, or I'll explain it sometime. But so I'm gonna try to take over the gardening, which I have to be honest, I'm such a perfectionist that I'm really scared to just take charge, and I'm like, okay, something better show up, because I don't have the green thumb. It's him, and I just tend to it. But I think I'm gonna take control of the garden, and then we're gonna do a lot of the Math in the Garden book that I got. I'm so excited to do that. I know I could do a lot of that Math in the Garden through grocery store food, but I think it would just be more of an impact if we chose stuff from the garden to do that book. And I know Hannah did a review on that too, so I will try to remember to leave that link down below for you if you want to know what I'm talking about. I don't have anything to share with you because haircuts and movies are going on in there, and I ain't walking in there. Anyway, so I'm gonna be doing the gardening this spring, and I'm doing it at this rental house. And let's see, and it'll bring in the math in the garden. Math is definitely my biggest struggle in the homeschooling because especially the younger years before they hit Saxon 5-4, it's a struggle to figure out what exactly I want. So this is kind of more me, just using everyday life to teach math. So I'm really looking forward to that. What other goals do I have? I really, really want to get handicrafts going. I haven't really been focusing on that as much. And I have my daughter and my youngest sister really, really wanting that time, and I just haven't made the time for it. So that's going to be a huge focus. I'm really going to be, let's see, I really need to find something for the boys to do that isn't going to require much from me. I know that sounds horrible, but I am spread thin. So I don't know if I can find somebody to teach them how to do something. But they really need an outlet to be creative. They can do the Legos, but I really think that in the end of the day, I'm like, okay, take the Legos apart and put them away. We don't have the space for all this displays. You get to make something tomorrow. But I think if they did something like, for example, build a bookshelf, and they could see something like that every day, that is something that they really need that. So I'm trying to figure out what to do with that. Another goal, it is actually book related, is I am trying really hard this coming year, 2018, to not purchase, which is so funny to say because I have a cart full of books that I want on Amazon, but I'm going to be trying hard not to purchase any books and just doing what is on my shelf. Because I have a ton, and yeah, there is some great books out there, trust me. I have notebooks full of these titles, but I think it's time to really focus on what we have and kind of decide if this is worth having on our shelves. And that's going to be really difficult for me, especially when you go to a thrift store or a library book sale and there's some really great books, and not purchasing them. There's going to be exceptions, of course. If it's something that I have been wanting for a long time and it's been on my wants list, I will probably purchase it from a thrift store or the used bookstore, but I will not be doing it from Amazon. These are the goals that I have for our upcoming year. I know I'm going to be watching videos and just pulling more ideas because I do that every single time. And that's what's great about these videos, is that they kind of broaden some of your thinking, and then I can make notes and go from there. Well, I don't know if this video was helpful for anybody or if it was just fun to just sit and chat a little bit, but there you go. There are my 2018 homeschool goals, and I can't wait to see at the end of the year if I really met my goals.